I'm the Tez.
Welcome to the TezDown. Welcome.
I'm the Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the TezDown. Party time. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, research, education, and parody. Under this act, fair use is permitted use of copyrighted content that might otherwise infringe on the exclusive rights of copyright holders. The TezDown podcast is a platform for entertainment and education. Edutainment, a blend of education and entertainment, emphasizes content that informs while it entertains. The views expressed in this channel's commentary do not necessarily reflect or represent the views of the hosts, and may not always reflect complete or verified accuracy of information presented. All content, including commentary, analysis, and discussion, falls within the legal parameters of fair use. We make no claims to ownership of any third-party content. This is the TezDown. Sports unscripted, culture unfiltered. Thank you for understanding.
Are you making another beat, Daddy?
What up, nephew?
And Genius is my dad.
Hey, Lele. Classic. Hard times ain't nothing at all. Really come from a struggle. Move around Michael Buffer. Always ready to rumble. All that mean is off the muscle. Y'all can't match my hustle. Screen bucket, that's a cuzzo. Bigger key to no muzzle. Lately I'm feeling exhausted. Think I'm tired of being humble. Coach all on the duffel. Chip on my shoulder, you don't wanna ruffle. Where I come from, everybody is cutthroat. Could've been dead, I'm just doing what I'm up for. My old homie jumped off the roof. I tried to share it, he was nuts though. Life, win or you lose, you gotta pick it or choose. Inspired, chose to win. Now I went furs on a cruise. The shortest path always straight. Why you all in your own way? You scream YOLO to be goofy instead of using that to be great. You black, you should be proud. When I got more money with the apes, it's gonna be a ton. I'm running up the rate. My name on your tongue, I'm coming up the ranks. Consistency so persistently is the recipe. I cannot lose. My options in life is win, succeed, or win. How can I choose? I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. So damn it, I think I'm a dude. Survived a lot, I could've died a lot, but I'm here, got nothing to prove. Woke up, inspired. Woke up, inspired. Woke up, inspired. Woke up, woke up. Woke up feeling inspired. Treadwheel, low pro tire. Grind like my needs are dire. I grind like my straight's a diet. Woke up, woke up, woke up. Woke up. When I start getting awards, know that I deserve it. I ain't getting choked up. Confidence come from preparation. Fundamentals that'll separate us. I document it just so it makes sense when y'all clowns see me elevated. You the type to take the elevator. I take the stairs by the escalator. You proclaim that you work hard. I show and prove that I'm dedicated. Y'all got failure traits. Ain't did nothing trying to celebrate. Why? You procrastinate. I bet tomorrow's your favorite day. In a minute.
Every day is my favorite day. Welcome to the TezDown. I am Tez. Thanks, Classic, for the music. I appreciate that a whole lot. Man, we got a show for you today. We got a show. I say we as in the royal we because it's just me. Or is it? Y'all don't know, do you? You never do. You never know if I got somebody in here or not. Well, you're going to have to stick around to find out. We're going to have to see what's going on today. What's going on, chat? I see y'all in here. What's going on? We got International Sco in the building. What's up, Sco? How you doing, man? It is 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Central Time in Illinois. And Sco said, hit that like button and subscribe. It's free. 111. Put them ones in the chat. We the ones with yes, we are. On up. How y'all doing today? All right, guys. So I'm gonna run it down for you guys. We got, or should I say, I'm gonna tear it down for y'all today. We got fake beef. Black people not supporting each other and black fatigue of the grifters. Oh, yeah. I'm going to talk about it today. I've been avoiding it, but hey, people keep saying my name. And when I hear people saying my name, I have to appear. So we're going to get into it today. But woo, let's start off with some business first. It is election day in Illinois. And if you are in Illinois or any of the other places, there is a primary that you have to go ahead and vote in today. Let's get it started.
The Illinois primary coming up. It's March 17th. Who's on the ballot? Why is it important? I'm Marianne Ahern. This is The Brief.
So the purpose of this is to find out who, if you are voting in Illinois, the purpose of this is to find out who these people are, why these people are, and why you should or should not vote for them. So I'm going to tell you guys straight up. I am not someone that's going to recommend who you should vote for. But I'm going to tell you there are definitely people that you should not vote for. And let's meet some of these candidates right now. What's up, McKinnon? I said TezDown 3 times in the mirror, and Tez appeared behind me and stole my kidney. Exactly. You never know what's going to happen when you say my name. You say my name, I'm going to appear. That's just how it works. Say it in the mirror. Just don't say it when your girl's around. You feel me? Yeah, you feel me? Too Tight said, what's up? Too Tight putting his ones in the air. What's happening, y'all? I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I have no problem with y'all also continuing to drop 333s in the building. I have no problem for that at all. We are a community, and I like having a community. I really do. I enjoy that, you know, y'all show up each and every day to listen to some of the stuff that I got to say or all of it. I appreciate it a lot. But let's get going on this primary. Let's see what's going on with these people and who these jokers are.
A primary means when you go to vote, you must declare your party. You must vote either for the Democratic candidates or the Republican candidates. I know people get upset. They're like, wait a minute, I want to vote for both. Well, you don't get to in a primary. You can only vote for one of the parties. Then in November, when it is the midterm across the country, you will get a chance to vote either for the Democrat or the Republican. So in the governor's race, J.B. Pritzker running for a third term and very likely to win that race. The governor's race on the Democratic side, not as exciting. However, on the Republican side, there are 4 candidates. The Republican side, it could end up being a rematch of Pritzker versus Darren Bailey because Darren Bailey is the front runner. Darren Bailey is the downstate farmer. You might have heard of him as well because of what happened, unfortunately, to his family, a tragedy where he lost 4 members of his family last fall in a helicopter crash. He's also known for his very conservative views. In fact, in the last election, in the match against Pritzker, he called Chicago a hellhole. That didn't work so well when you try to attract
that's why he lost
the primary. He learned his lesson, says he's not doing that in this race. In fact, wants to focus his campaign post-primary, should he win, in attracting more city and suburban voters. The other 3 Republican candidates for governor are Ted Dabrowski, who is a financial analyst, first time running for office, Rick Heidner, who is a gaming and real estate executive, first time running for office, and Sheriff James Medrick from DuPage County, obviously has been in office, and his focus is on crime.
Fuck that guy.
Actually, all of them say one of the things they would do right away is get rid of the sanctuary status for Illinois. They do not agree with that at all. And in fact, they say there wouldn't have been so many issues with the immigration raids if the police had cooperated with ICE. Let's face it, Illinois is a blue state. Whomever wins the Republican primary is going to have a very tall order against J.B. Pritzker, not only because he is somewhat popular as a Democratic candidate here in Illinois, but he has unlimited pockets to run for this reelection. He's a billionaire and is willing to spend. We have, for the first time in almost 30 years, an open primary for the U.S. Senate. Dick Durbin is retiring. There are several candidates on the Democratic side, but the 3 frontrunners are Raja Krishnamurthy, Juliana Stratton, and Robin Kelly. All 3 of them already hold office. 2 are in Congress. That's Krishnamurthy and Kelly. Stratton, of course, is lieutenant governor to J.B. Pritzker. What's turned out to be the big issue in this race is Donald Trump. Each of the Democrats complaining that one of them or the other is getting money from people who also donated to Trump. So they're trying to align the Democrats as MAGA funded. And in Stratton's case, she has been funded much by J.B. Pritzker. The Stratton campaign is painting Robin Kelly as a spoiler. They like it to just be 2 candidates, Krishnamurthy and Stratton. But that's not the case. So it's going to be interesting to see who does win the primary. And in this race, it's one of the most expensive Senate races in the country. Krishnamurthy has raised more than $25 million for his campaign. He's been working on it for many years. He could see that Durbin was likely to retire. And so there's been some complaints about that, about how much of his fundraising has fueled this race of his. Others say, well, that's what it takes to win a race, and so be it. But the Democrats are really, there's a lot of infighting going on. Now, there are also Republicans running for the U.S. The two leading contenders are Don Tracy and Jeannie Evans. Both of them have never run for office before. Don Tracy has been the chairman of the Illinois Republican Party, is a longtime lawyer from downstate, and Jeannie Evans is a first-time candidate, as I mentioned, never run before, but she does have backing from legal circles in the city of Chicago. Some are wondering if Jeannie Evans might pull off a surprise and be the nominee. You're gonna have to wait and see on this. Whomever wins the GOP primary in the U.S. Senate will then face the winner.
Hey, let's get it started early, guys. Can you guys do me a favor? I know everybody that's watching right now, you are focused on who to vote for in Illinois. If you live in Illinois, if you don't live in Illinois, then obviously you don't care too much about this. It's just the first segment, guys. But what you can do is you can stop, pause yourself, give me a like or subscribe or both. It's free. It's free, guys, and it helps me out a lot. Yeah, I'm on the way to recovery. I started this new channel a few months ago, and we are blazing the trail right now, but we got some work to do. I do not have monetization on this channel, and I'm trying to get there because, as you guys know, this is expensive. This costs money. And so I would hope to get a little bit of monetization to put more word out to the people and continue making great content. You guys help me with likes and subscribes. I'm not even asking for your money, at least not yet. So here we go, back to the primary.
Of the Democratic primary in November. All right, then, for the first time than anyone can remember, we have 5 open congressional seats. The 2nd, the 4th, the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th. And in a couple of those races, there are more than a dozen candidates. Only one is going to win the primary. As I mentioned before, remember, you've got to go in and vote either for the Democrats or you vote for the Republicans. These are strong Democratic seats. Let's talk about the 2nd. In the 2nd congressional district, it is former Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr., who spent time in prison, whose father just passed away.
And I knew that he was going to run again. See, the last time that this guy ran, the last time that he had a position, he tried to sell a Barack Obama Senate seat and went to prison for it. He came out looking like this, a shriveled up version of himself. No mustache, no nothing. Just who does he think that he is right now? I'm going to tell you guys right now, don't trust this man. The first thing that he did at his own father's funeral was get up and blast every single president. Now, I'm not against blasting the president, but I do believe that politicking, there's a time and a place for politicking, and I don't necessarily think your parents' funeral is the time or the place to politic for your own congressional or Senate seat. And you're going to try to win the seat that you tried to sell to somebody else? Come on now. That just screams corruption, doesn't it? And as y'all can see, I am not a Democrat or a Republican. I just call it how it is. This is ridiculous. But go ahead, Jesse Jackson Jr., do what you want to do, man.
Was considered the front runner. If he wins, it would be quite a return to Congress of all that has happened to him. His main opponent is Donna Miller. There is also State Senator Robert Peters. There's a lot of talk in this race of outside money, and really in all of these races. There's money that's been given to candidates from outside of the state, from what are called political action committees, PACs. That's when you see those commercials and you kind of wonder, who's that? Why are they doing that? Well, they've got an agenda. There is a pro-Israel PAC. There's a crypto PAC. There is a DraftKings. There's a gambling PAC. And what they're doing, they're funding these campaigns because they hope that when whomever wins, that they will represent their interests in Congress. Another closely watched race is the 7th congressional district. That's where Danny Davis, he retired. There's several different candidates. The top 2 that a lot of people are focusing on are State Senator LaShawn Ford and City Treasurer Melissa Conyers-Ervin. Why are so many people interested in these congressional seats? Because what happens once you get into Congress, as you see with Danny Davis, they often stay for many, many years.
Hey, Roxy.
It's not a bad gig. Who doesn't want to be in Congress to be a part of helping make laws, to be able to speak out on various issues? And if you're a politician, Congress is one of those seats that you aspire to, and they don't become open very often. And that's why we're seeing so many people run. Another district that we're watching closely is the 9th congressional district. It extends from Edgewater in the city all the way north up to Crystal Lake. It's a very wide, different district that represents people that don't have much money to people that might have a lot more money. And with Jan Schakowsky retiring,
that district is probably the most volatile right now because you don't know what's going to happen. As she already mentioned, there's a wide range of people that are involved. You have people that are broke, people that are immigrants, people that have been here for 200 years. Well, their families anyway. and it's a little bit divided. So I would be paying very close attention to that part of the race if I were anyone that was trying to take the metrics on this.
More than a dozen people who want that seat. The top three that people are watching closely are the mayor of Evanston, Daniel Biss, State Senator Laura Fine, and a newcomer, a content creator and former journalist, Kat Abagazea. So people are keeping an eye.
She's actually the front runner, and she is a YouTube creator, also on TikTok. She's done a bunch of things with a lot of different political creators. Hassan Piker is one of them, especially during the ICE raids. So you might have recognized Kat Abuzela, but if you haven't, give her a look and see what you guys are voting for.
On that district, because it has always been a long time sort of veteran of politics. So if the content creator, Kat Abagazea, wins, that would really send a big signal, not just in our area, but across the country, that the Democratic Party is looking to revamp itself, to look for new people to run and not the same old, same old. Of course, all politics are local, so you care about where you live and who might be on your ballot. Another big race to watch is the Cook County Board President race. Cook County Board President Toni Preckwinkle, who has had that post for many years, is facing her toughest challenge with Brendan Riley, a Chicago alderman. So we're going to be watching that to see what happens. But here's the bottom line. It's your chance to vote. We don't get it very often. You don't want to miss going to the polls. You still can vote early. If you haven't done so, you, of course, can vote on Election Day. That's Tuesday, March 17th. Our vote in Illinois really does matter as far as people wanting to see the trends for what's ahead nationwide in the midterm in November. There are so many different choices. We hope that you read and listen and watch and take in all the material so that when you make your choice, it is a confident one that has been well researched. Thanks so much for checking.
Yeah, so I mean, it's very important that you guys take care of your voting rights, and you do have the right to vote. I understand if you don't want to, totally get it. A lot of Americans in today's society are not voting. They feel let down. They feel however they feel by the way that the system has been moving, and I get it. But you can make some change by voting in the right people. It's up to you to decide who those right people are. I'm not going to tell you who they are. I want you to decide. Just know that voting for your pocketbook only is not going to help you, because it never does. There's zero recorded history of how regular people who work every single day have benefited from voting for people that promise that they're going to make everyone rich. Just letting you know that in the gate. Now we're going to move on. We're going to move on from election stuff today. We're going to be moving, guys. We're going to be moving. We're going to move on for election stuff today. We're going to get into the show. That show, Fake Beef. You can skip the super chat at hashtag TezDown or Zelle at the email down at the bottom. And all my socials are Soul Reaper 24. I'm not hard to find. And that is why we're talking about fake beef today. The first one that we have is a conversation that has been brought up so many times over the years. So many times. And one of the main questions that we have about what's going on and why and all of this and all of that is simply, why don't black people support each other? You know, there's so many people that we've all met throughout our lives, and I understand that not everybody is black, but everybody knows a black person, and it'll benefit you too. For the most part, we were taught not to support each other. For the most part, we were all taught to be individuals. We were taught to be the one on top. Don't work in a network. Don't work with a group of people. And let me tell you, sometimes that's the truth. It is hard working with other people, especially other people who were brought up in the same type of structure that you were. It's difficult as a black person because we have to be individuals. We have to stand out. You have to be the one that everybody can see and shine and all of that. So it's difficult. But the problem that arises from that is we don't support each other's businesses, goals, or ambitions. Because if you support them, they might outgrow you. That's what the dichotomy is right here. If I support them, they might outgrow me, especially if we're doing the same thing. But that's not the case. The case is it's a synergistic effect. What if supporting them helps grow your business? You might not grow as fast as them. You might not grow as quickly as them, but you will grow. You will grow. And I think that growth should be the goal. I think that the goal needs to be progress, not perfection, progress, not being number one, maybe not being number two, but being in the running. And I think if you need to get in the running first before you start worried about being number one, I totally understand having the goal of being the best, being the greatest, being the one on top, the one leading the charge. I totally understand that. But if you're not even in the race, You shouldn't be thinking about being in first place. Get yourself to the race first. Get yourself to the race first. Put the work in. Get yourself to the race, and then worry about being number one. Once you're in the race, you can beat anybody. But if you're not even in the race, support the people who are. Support the ones that are trying to make stuff happen for everyone else. Even if it looks like they're just being selfish at first, because I guarantee you that in the Black community especially, the trickle down does work. Everybody benefits when I eat. Everybody benefits when they eat. Everybody's eating, and that's the important part. But we have gotten away from that in the society. We have gotten bombed. We have gotten destroyed. We have gotten wrongfully profiled and imprisoned. And the spirit of the Black person, in my opinion, has been broken to a degree to the point of where they don't like each other anymore. I don't see that with other races of people. I don't, unless they've been radicalized, which not the worst thing in the world, but I don't see that from other races of people. I see Black people doing this to each other. Every time a Black person does something wrong, the first people that want to call them out are Black people. But Black people aren't even the first ones to call out the other people who did things wrong. So we're going to get into it today. Why aren't Black people supporting Black people? We're gonna get into the video. But before we do, it's fake beef and it's fake meat. You guys have been eating fake meat without realizing. You guys have been eating lab-grown meat. You see, the man, Bill Gates, allegedly, as you guys have already seen from the disclaimer, I have the right to fair use to talk about these things. Bill Gates is championing a company and spending a lot of money to make sure that you eat fake food. You eat fake meat. They're growing it in labs, and we're going to find out why and how right now, today.
Poor treatment of animals to uneven food distribution and even climate change, lab-grown food is being hailed by some as a solution for many of today's biggest issues. Our global agricultural system is responsible for over a quarter of all greenhouse gas emissions. Among the worst offenders
What's up, Jim?
are
Shout
beef,
out.
dark chocolate, coffee, and fish, based on emissions per kilogram.
There has been a lot of hype around cell-cultivated food, but how viable is the industry? What does it entail? And more importantly, will consumers bite?
Can you do the honors and lift the lid on your creation?
Over a decade ago on The Edge, we reported on the world's first ever cultured beef burger. Unveiled by Professor Mark Post from Maastricht University, it cost around 250,000 euros to produce. He went on to set up Mosa Meat, a company which aims to bring the burger to the masses, and he's not alone. There are now hundreds of startups developing their own lab-grown products, but just how do they do it? It's a relatively simple procedure, and similar for both meat and plant-based production. For meat, simply take stem cells from animals' tissue, add a nutrient-rich solution and watch the cells multiply into the three main components of meat: muscle, fat, and connective tissue. Then put the cells into bioreactors, or as they're more commonly known, cultivators. These cells are then separated and rearranged to build a final edible product. This part of the process is called scaffolding and can be very
what are you
complicated.
talking about, man?
A steak, for instance, needs a lot more scaffolding than ground meat in a burger. The entire process takes between 2 and 8 weeks, but the payoff can be huge. It's estimated that just 1,000th of a pound of cow cells can create up to 4.4 billion pounds of beef.
That sounds like an impressive return. So what's the holdup?
Don't worry, Skull. We'll get back to
cost is a big issue. Currently, lab-grown meat is around 40% more expensive than animal meat. And then there's health and safety concerns. All production must happen in a completely sterile environment because the cells have no natural immunity from diseases. And while traditional meat is nutritionally dense, most of its proteins, vitamins, and
So they've brought up a very interesting point here. The cells have no natural immunity from diseases. So essentially what you're doing is you're growing real cells from animals that have not gone through any processes of becoming immune to the environment. So they're easily going to be attacked and infected by whatever germs, let's just call them germs today, whatever germs or microbes that are there. And could you imagine if there was some crazy amount of people that were eating this every single day and it went out nationwide, and next thing you know, it's some zombie virus. Now, I'm not saying that the zombie virus is what it's going to be. I'm just throwing out, a hypothetical out here. But it could be as simple as Ebola or something like that could affect us and give it to everyone. And next thing you know, we got another pandemic on our hands. There are some things that you just need to leave alone. I don't know. How about this? How about we abandon the majority of the meat that we eat anyway? If we stop worrying about eating meat so much and started supplementing our diets with other things, because especially in this country, we're fat. If we supplemented our diets with other things that were more nutritional for us than just straight up meat, I mean, we could use the same money that they're spending on this science to develop other things and develop ways to eat food that's real and exists, to grow food, to give the money to the farmers who are losing their farms right now so that we can have real food and stop worrying about bioengineering it. Now, for people who still think that we can live in space, which we can't, I'm just letting you guys know that right now. That's a fever dream. We can't live in space. For people who still think that we can live in space for an extended amount of time, this is something that they would want to develop. But we can't do that. It won't be possible for a very long time, if ever. Just because if you were born here and all of your biology has you set to here, then you're stuck here. You might visit, but there's no telling if you'll ever make it back. Look at the astronauts who spend too much time in space. Look at the astronauts who went to the moon. I'm saying all of this because there is scientific evidence that proves that we can't do it, yet people still believe that we can. I'm not understanding why this is even a thing or why we're spending so many billions of dollars on this. And when I say billions, I mean billions of dollars, when there are people who literally don't have regular food because you guys are wasting all the money on stuff that doesn't make any sense.
Minerals are introduced via animal feed. You have to add these nutrients into cultured meat, and it's still unclear whether today's additives provide equal nutritional value in the long term. As a result, regulators can't seem to align on the technology. Singapore became the first country in the world to approve cultured meat for human consumption in 2020. The US followed suit 3 years later, and the UK's Food Standards Agency approved use for pet food in early 2024. Italy, meanwhile, has banned the production, sale, and import of lab-grown meat entirely, with the government citing its potential negative impact on the country's farming industry. France and Romania might do the same. The EU so far has not offered any guidance, but if it does greenlight use, it could put Brussels on a collision course with angry farmers.
Some critics are calling for more research into the environmental impacts of cultured food, especially if production is ramped up significantly. After all, the manufacturing process still requires an energy source, but those championing the industry believe the benefits outweigh the negatives.
They say cultured food has the potential to dramatically reduce food waste, tantalize our taste buds with things we've never traditionally eaten, and could provide health benefits by tailoring food to nutritional needs, such as removing gluten or saturated fats without compromising on the taste. According to consulting firm McKinsey, cultivated meat could make up as much as 0.5% of the world's meat supply by 2030, making it a $25 billion global industry.
Listen, guys.
I'm gonna hear this right.
Listen, guys. So we're going to get into this. We're going to get into this in a minute. Listen, guys, I implore you to find healthier ways to eat your food. I implore you to go out and do some research on the things that will actually help you. And a lot of them are very simple. It's plants. It's plants. Whether you like it or not. I'm not telling you not to have a steak every now and then. I'm not telling you not to enjoy a juicy burger every now and then. I'm just saying that this is where it's going. And I guarantee you that they plan it before you ever get to it. Guarantee you. You might not be able to see it. Our next section of the show that we're going to move on to, and I would stay and talk about this a little bit more, but I think you guys get the point. They are making lab-grown meat, and they want us to eat it, and they want us to take it, and they want us to use it. And I really just don't want something bad to happen to everyone because we're eating fake food. Now, you might say, we've been eating fake food for years. Yeah, but this level of fake is a lot more than genetically modified. This is completely and totally lab grown. Cloning, actually, is what this is, in a small way. So let's get moving. Let's get moving on the next part. So, guys, I promised you earlier that we're going to talk about black people supporting each other. And that seems to be a huge problem. As you guys can see, we're in here and I talk about these things all the time. And we've had these weird creators that are out here doing all types of stuff that is so counterproductive to our Black people. And nobody's checking them the way that they've been checked when it comes to us. Nobody has, and I'm going to continue doing so because I believe in y'all. I believe in me. I believe in my people. I believe in our collective of people, and we got to do something about this. We really do. Why don't Black people support each other? I really just want to know. Like, I want to know, why don't Black people support each other? And why is it that we can always get everything else done for everybody else, but never for ourselves? When somebody can give me the answer to that, then maybe I'll get off of it. But for right now, and for this part of the show, it's titled "Black People Don't Like Black People." Let's go, y'all.
In 2021, the growth in Black spending power reached $1.6 trillion, which doubled since the year before, yet our wealth has fallen by 14%. This means that 99% of our buying power is spent outside of our community. These statistics imply that Black people know how to make money, but we do not.
Whoa, 99% of what we spend money on as Black people is spent outside of the Black community. What does that tell you? Does it mean that Black people have a shortage in manufacturing? Does it mean that Black people have a shortage in mentality? Is the mentality is that what they're wearing is better than what we are wearing and what we're creating? Is the mentality that we don't have enough creation? I want to know. Give me you guys' opinions. This isn't just for me to yell at you. I want to know what you Black people think, and white people too, and Asian people, and anybody else. You tell me what you think. Before we even get going, we had a comment from Passport Scope, or International Scope now. He said, Black people will get no further than they are right now because all they want to do is hate on one another and think they have ops when the real op is themselves. And I can't disagree with him. I can't disagree with him at all. You have to reformulate your mind in order to break these generational curses and these chains that are still there. The physical chains are gone. And I think they understood that when they let them go. The physical chains are gone, but the mental chains have lasted for generations. And he even said it's easier for us to help each other than versus ourselves. And it is. It is. I don't understand why we can't help each other when we're right next to each other all the time. Oh, like I said before, you don't want to see that person have more shine than you. That's terrible, isn't it?
Not know how to keep it. The Black dollar stays in our community for 6 hours while it stays in the Asian community for 28 days.
Well, it's actually a couple of things. For one, we could seem that we're rude and it's not all about good
collaboration. Is
that's a problem. Why am I spending my money with you and you're too sensitive to even take the criticism necessary needed?
Is that it's so expensive, which I can understand. Certain people or certain places, they kind of hit you over at a price.
Hating. That's all I can think of is hating, just because of the fact that they see one person doing their thing. It's hard for them to congratulate them.
There has to be a reason why Black-owned are the only businesses that are blackballed by their own community. You don't.
And that's a big part right there. You just heard from a couple different people that have looked at you and told you that they don't like buying from Black people at all for a list of reasons. Most of those reasons that I heard looked arbitrary. I think that a lot of you would agree that those reasons were very arbitrary. I don't like how they looked at me. Well, you don't like how anybody looks at you. You don't like how the man at the gas station looks at you. You don't like how the lady at the nail salon looks at you. You don't like how the lady in the beauty supply store looks at you. You don't like how anybody looks at you. I don't even know why you go outside at that point. But here's the problem. If the Black dollar spends 8 minutes in the Black community versus the Asian dollar spending 28 days in its community, that's where a wealth disparity is created. If Black Americans as a collective have made double what they made the previous year before this one, but we've lost our spending power by 14%, it's because we're not investing in ourselves. Every time I look around, Black people trying to get away from Black people. Every time I look around, I can't wait to move away from these, ninjas. I can't wait. I'm gonna move to the suburbs. I'm gonna getting a high-rise penthouse, something. Can't wait to get away from these ninjas. I do understand that there are crime-ridden areas that you should want to get away from, but there are better ways to do it. Again, Black millionaires, there's nothing stopping you from buying entire blocks in the hood. There's nothing stopping you from doing so and renovating it and gentrifying it yourself. Imagine if you had a group of 5 or 6 Black people who all were millionaires, and you got together and you bought 15 or 20 city blocks because the houses are dilapidated, because they're rental properties. See, there's companies from Georgia that came up to Illinois and bought a whole lot of property, rental homes, townhouses, apartment complexes. They bought them and they raised the rent in Illinois. So the Illinois rent has continued to skyrocket, double and triple what it was just 2 years ago, because another state or a foreign company came in and bought the real estate in the areas that we live in. And there's only 2 things that are happening. Either they're raising the rent or they're putting data centers where you live, taking your power and your water and making the air quality less clean all over again. We saw this in the 30s. We saw this in the 40s. We saw this in the 50s. We saw this in the 60s. We saw this in the 70s. We saw this in the 80s. Not so much in the 90s, because Black people just decided to step up in the 90s. There was hey, if you didn't live in the 90s, you missed out on a lot. There was a lot of stuff going on for us Black people in the 90s. Black people came up a lot in the 90s. And then the 2000s, they decided to regress. And now we're here, where a guy who looks like me can look at you and say, I don't want to live around other Black people. Oh, my neighbors is white with 2 T's. I can afford it. I'm going to spend my money. I got it like that. I got the Coogee and the Fendi and the Louis V and shut up. Shut up. It don't make no sense for you to be talking about all of these Italian companies when we have Black designers who are just as good or not better. So shut up.
Shut your stupid ass up. Say that, folks.
Yeah, I know that we had some issues in the Black community with people abusing their power, but for a while we had a lot. And in the late 90s and the early 2000s, we had a whole bunch of Black brands that were coming out, like FUBU and Sean John. I know. Don't jump down my throat about that one. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Do not jump down my throat about no Sean and his magical combs.
That's blah, blah, gay sex, blah, blah, Congress.
That's all you talk about, Cortez. All you talk about is
blah, blah, gay sex, blah, blah, Congress.
I talked about Congress. I didn't intentionally talk about the other thing. That's just what Sean and his magical combs does. You know, I'm just saying.
Shit, Negro. That's all you had to say.
Don't try to tell me about the designer outfits and clothing that you wear when you can't support your own people. Don't do it. I had a conversation with a content creator that was on here, if you can call him that, and he told me that I had a broke mindset because I want to help people. How is wanting to help people having a broke mindset? If I had all the money, then I would be using all the money to make other people have money, because I'm guaranteeing you there's a kid in the hood right now who could solve the cancer problem. There's a kid in the hood right now who could have solved the COVID problem. There's a kid right now who could solve the engineering crisis that we've been having, or the energy crisis that we've been having, but they do not have the funding. They do not have the opportunity. And what do? They become lost to the streets because they do not have the funding. And it's very important, because the people who do have the funding end up like Elon Musk. He had the funding to do whatever he wanted to do, whenever he wanted to do it. And most of his stuff doesn't even work, but he had the funding and he had the ability to go out and do it. The same thing with Jeff Bezos, the same thing with Bill Gates. These guys had the funding. They had the money behind them. They had people that believed in them. You guys wouldn't believe it. I would be a tech billionaire right now, multi-billionaire right now, because I invented your tablets. Put it on record right here. I invented your tablets. In the 2nd grade, I didn't have any funding. Everyone thought it was funny. Everyone thought it was a joke to see this little kid trying to build a tablet computer when everyone was just starting to get laptops. I said, why can't it be small? Why can't it be flat? And why can't you put it in your pocket? Next thing you know, we all got these. So that just goes to show you that there's probably a million people that had the same idea that I did because they were tech nerds, geeks, whatever you want to call them. They just didn't have the funding. Now imagine if someone had the funding for these ideas, how you could change the Black community. You could keep money in the Black community. The NAACP isn't doing enough. They aren't. The United Negro College Fund, they're not doing enough. Why aren't they doing enough? Because we're not giving them the money to do it. We're not funding them. HBCU is losing their football teams. HBCU is losing their bands because they don't have the funding. You do realize that the STEM program is very important and we should put kids in it. They have schools specifically designed for it. I know in Illinois, there's a school called IMSA, the Illinois Math and Science Academy, that you could put your high school age kids in, and they would live there on the campus, and they do STEM all day. Illinois Math and Science Academy. They do it all day long, every single day for school. How many of you people knew that? How many of you people knew that most of the military schools teach lots of different engineering classes as well as STEM? How many people knew that? Maybe you should put your kids in those schools instead of trying to send them to school to be, I don't know, a basketball player, knowing that they're only 5'6". Well, he loves basketball. He's going to be the next Spud Webb. That is almost statistically impossible. Almost. Not going to tell him it's not possible, because anything is possible. But let's keep it real here. They would be much better served in their future if they didn't have to struggle because they got a STEM job because they were the best and most qualified for it, without having to prove against some 6'7" sophomore in high school who's only going to be 7'3" later on. Ask me how I know. No, I'm not 5'6". I'm a little bit taller than that. You know, a couple inches here, over, up there. You know, but it's what I'm saying. I was not a basketball player's height. Just keep it 100. I wasn't a basketball player's height. I enjoyed playing the game. I had a good time. I built some friendships through it, but it wasn't my thing. That's why I moved on to other sports. And as you can see, I've done pretty good for myself when it comes to being in other sports because I redirected my focus. Let's redirect our focus back to what they're talking about.
Don't see this sort of attitude in other ethnic communities? Could it be because of systemic oppression, personal irresponsibility, deep-rooted psychology, or is it all of the above? Here's why Black people don't support Black-owned businesses. A common frustration among many African Americans is our constant appropriation of our culture. We are so proud of our culture because of everything it represents: strength, vitality, perseverance, and flavor. There is no denying that Black is beautiful. But if we truly believe this, why do we not profit on our culture as much as other races do? One reason for this is because we lack trust within our community. According to supportblackowned.com, there are even Black business owners that choose to not support Black businesses.
That's good with it.
When asked why, they answer that Black-owned businesses are unprofessional and no others besides theirs should be supported. But where does this unprofessional stereotype come from? Let's start from the bottom and determine what it takes to start a business. It takes a lot of effort to start a business, and it begins with market research. Market research involves gathering data to learn about target audiences so that a business owner can determine factors such as the
target audiences, which is huge. You see, every time that we buy a product because we saw it on our algorithms, it's because they targeted us. As they've stated, Black people have made twice as much money. One point, I think it was $6 trillion, which is double what we made the year before that as a gross domestic product. We've doubled our money, but lost 14% of our spending power. That's because they target us with ads and we go for it, hook, line, and sinker every single time. And let's face the facts here. The majority of Black companies don't spend a lot of time marketing to Black people, do they? They try to market to everybody else except the Black people that they're making their products for. Again, this is a twofold problem. It's a twofold problem. It's not a one-sided problem, guys.
Demand, market size, and market saturation. Knowing these things can help a business develop a strong foundation so they can have growth and longevity. After that work is done, a business plan needs to be made, which is based on all of the market research that has been done. This plan can either be traditional, which is usually dozens of pages long, or a lean startup, which is typically about a page long. Next is figuring out the best way to fund your business by first determining how much you will need and figuring out which is the best method to get that money, whether that be through bank loan, crowdfunding, or investors. Depending on what kind of business you have, the next steps vary and include choosing a business name, structure, and location, and registering your business. This is the bare minimum to start a successful business, yet many Black businesses do not invest the time to establish a strong foundation for their company. One of the biggest complaints is that Black businesses are hard to find. This is a clear indicator that most of these businesses do not take enough time to do market research or organize their finances to allow for advertising budget. Advertising is important for businesses because it drives growth.
You know, and this is a big one right here, so I'm gonna put it up on the screen. McKinnon Marketing says, correct, we run experiments and fine-tune our message, images, music, and distribution to be shown directly to those people. It's a well-oiled machine on how it works. And, you know, me being in marketing myself, I'm gonna tell you McKinnon is exactly right. Obviously, McKinnon, as far as marketing goes, he's a bit more successful than me at that. And that's why he's here, because we love him and he takes care of business when it's time to take care of business. I appreciate you, McKinnon. Thank you for being here, one of my lovely wrenches. And long time watchers and viewers. I appreciate you, man. It's a big deal, guys, to get your marketing correct. Nobody wants to buy a product that looks sloppy. No one wants to buy a product that looks like it was hastily thrown together, or that you don't care if the people use it or not. Why do you think my show looks the way that it looks? It looks good because it's marketable. I could get up here and talk about nothing all day long, and you guys might not watch it, or you might, but more people are going to pay attention to something that looks good and polished. That's why we buy new mics. That's why we buy new cameras. That's why we buy new PCs. That's why we buy new lighting. That's why we pay for certain things, which is why you guys should hit the like button and subscribe so I can definitely keep paying for these things and hopefully not out of my own pocket. Let's take some of YouTube's marketing revenue, but I need you guys to hit that like button and that subscribe button to do so. So thank you. Like how I did that. Y'all like that? I know my chat likes it. Classic in the building again. Roxy said, you're a beast at football. They have said, how do I tackle a refrigerator from a previous live? Yeah, it's true. How you tackle a refrigerator. But International Skull said, I don't mind being around the culture. Said, that's too much like right. The 1% of Black people that's rich or wealthy aren't going to do something like that for the simple fact they don't care about the people beneath them. And that's the main problem, Sko. Black people don't like Black people. As we have right here, Black people don't like Black people. They want to move away. They want to stop talking to them. They want to put them down, call them broke, all types of other stuff each and every single day. Instead of saying, hey, my brother, I got a lot of money. You got no money. Let me help you get some money. And by me helping you get some money, I'm going to get a little bit more money. That's because that's really how it works. One hand washes the other. Iron will sharpen iron, whether you like it or not. Again, B. Brand said this is good stuff. Let's get back into it then.
By targeting the right audiences and attracting paying customers. Getting customers is important, but keeping them is crucial. We live in a time where there's an abundance of small businesses and it's very competitive. Creating customer loyalty is the key to continued profitability for any successful business, and the best way to create customer loyalty is to have great customer service. This might be the biggest culprit of unsuccessful Black-owned businesses. Many customers complain about unprofessionalism, with stores being closed during business hours, business owners or employees with bad attitudes, and unapologetic bad service. Most Black people want to support Black businesses, but don't want to deal with the headache. At the end of the day, bad business is bad business, no matter where it's coming from. YouTube user at Natural Life Pro. I desperately want to support Black businesses, but I can't. Case in point, I live in Metro Atlanta. There are Asian nail shops and Black-owned shops. I've gone to Asians mostly, but now I refuse to give them a dime of my money. I tried going to Black-owned, but they have no clue how to run a business. I go to an Asian shop. I'm in and out in an hour or less. Black-owned, I was in there 3.5 hours. Asians smile at me and ask, what color you like? Black-owned roll their eyes and acted like I was bothering them. Very rude, gossiping with each other, cursing, etc. I just do my own nails now. I miss the Asian shop, but refuse. We do not understand how to run a business, many of us. Always running out of supplies.
And this is why, McKinnon, what she's talking about right now.
Treat me with respect and do a timely good service, and I will support your Black-owned business. This is not to bash our people, but more so to take ownership of what is lacking and how it can be improved. Black company owners have a tendency to put minimal effort into their company and expect to be treated like businesses that do put the effort in. In this era where being woke is very prominent, many Black-owned businesses will rely on being Black-owned as the main reason why they should be supported. When they aren't supported, defense is the first reaction when it should be an opportunity for introspection and growth.
If you do not invest in your product, nobody else will. If you do not invest, I'll say it again, my face big. If you do not invest in your product, no one else will. No one else will want to. And can you blame them?
But let's also talk about the Black-owned businesses that have done the work. They know their target audience, they spend money on advertisement, and they have a solid business plan. But some of these businesses suffer based on the bad stereotypes created by the less successful Black-owned businesses. There are two theories that may explain this. One is the crabs in a barrel mentality that our community unfortunately adheres to. The Black community simply has more haters than other communities, and that's why there are no Black communities like Chinatown, Little Italy, or Little Russia. The reason being is most Black people come from poverty-stricken backgrounds and tend to glorify hood attributes, being gangsta, hard, etc. If you are an individual that wants to rise above the stereotype, most Black people will tear you down or ridicule you. There's many cases of Black parents being jealous of their own children. It hurts people to see others succeed because it shines a light on their own insecurities. They'll say things like, you think you're better than me if you happen to be doing better than them because you worked for it. It's a slave mentality passed down through generations, epigenetics. Another theory is generational trauma. In his 1952 semi-autobiographical novel, Go Tell It on the Mountain, famous African-American author James Baldwin asked, could a curse come down so many ages? Did it live in time or in the moment? The trauma of slavery has been carried on throughout generations of African-Americans and is manifested through poor health and poverty. We are aware of the residual effects of slavery that we see in our community. A more recent example of generational trauma would be the riot of Tulsa's Greenwood District. In 1921, Tulsa, Oklahoma's Black Wall Street was one of the most successful African-American communities in the United States. However, on May 31st, 1921, an African-American man named Dick Rowland was accused of attempting to rape a white woman named Sarah Page. The white community did not want to wait for the investigation to happen and instead took matters into their own hands by lighting 35 blocks on fire, injuring 800 people and killing 300. This tragedy resulted in 9,000 Black people becoming homeless and destroying a community with a remarkable school system, indoor plumbing, banks, hotels, and contemporary homes. The state of Oklahoma had only 2 airports, yet 6 Black families owned their own planes. The average income of African Americans in that community exceeded what minimum wage is today. Caucasians didn't realize.
You guys see that? That was 100 years ago. That was 100 years ago. And the average income of Black families exceeded minimum wage because Black people built their own neighborhoods. Said this is a great topic. I'm a firm believer in collaboration over competition. We invented so many things and didn't get credit. What's up, Kira, by the way? Too Tight said we invented so many things and didn't get credit for it. If we could come together, we would be strong to think about we are geniuses. We run sports, music, etc. We are literally the blueprint for just about everything in entertainment. I notice we criticize our own and skip any good places, so we automatically believe Black owned means bad. That's 100% true, Bridget. It's 100% true. The first thing we think about when we hear Black owned is, oh, Black owned's not good. McKinnon said there were communities like that everywhere, and Slocum, Texas, the one that had its own mass slaughter because Black people were doing well and white people got scared of them. If you guys don't know anything about this, check out what happened in Central Park, New York. Central Park, New York used to be a Black community before they decided to tear it down to the ground, get rid of the cemetery, and turn it into a park because the rich white folks in Central Park, New York, not Central Park, New York, but in Manhattan, wanted a place to take their dogs and hang out. It was a Black community, and they demolished it. They took it by eminent domain and gave the people pennies for their land that they owned legally in the city of New York City. Imagine what those families would be owed today for the land that is Central Park. You don't believe me? Go look it up. Maybe I'll talk about that a little bit this week. So Black people don't like Black people, and I'm not sure why, because you are Black. So how do you hate yourself? But we have another segment that's coming up right after this, guys. And I think that because of everything that has gone on in the last few days, you guys should prepare yourselves for this. This has a lot to do with Black grifter culture. But before that, we got something that is very near and dear to my heart these days. And I think that you guys need to get ready for a TezDown, stretch down. Let's go. Let's get limber, y'all. Yeah. That's it. Stretch. It's almost 2 p.m. Central Time. We need to get stretched out. Those people that are at work, finishing up their job for the day, in the county on the way to work. The office people that are watching this. I'm telling y'all, All the one part of my back. I'm like, oh yeah. The other way. In the other way. Let's go. That was nice. TezDown. Thank you guys. And now we got to get to a part of the show that is gonna man, I didn't want to have to do all of this today, but anytime you say my name,
we can do it the easy way or the hard way. So the choice is yours.
Right? We can do it the easy way or the hard way. The choice is yours.
What?
You guys ready? We about to test this down. I said, y'all ready? If y'all ready, put your ones and threes in the chat. If y'all ready, put your ones and threes in the chat. I want to see them. Ones and threes in the chat if y'all ready for this.
Everything I do fire. Dropped the best 2 albums of 17. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Yeah. Hungry, but I ain't starving though. Had to be before cardio. Lyrical exercise cardio. I'm getting paid off of audio. Change my rap name to lot of bucks. Watch your head, baby, got a duck. Cuz I pulled up in the Audi truck, say upgrading to a Ferrari truck. Everything I do is straight smoke. 5 albums, that's chain smoke. Buy my green like the 8th smoke. About to cruise first cake ghost. In corporate America with my hoodie on. They looking at me like I'm Trayvon. Better watch what you say wrong for your suntan turn spray on. On the Star Trek, watch them clean gone. For the sack chasers, I'm Ray Charles. $1,000 for a feature verse. For Fendi Frost, there's no charge. I threw my hands some braids. She said she liked me with waves. Then fell in love with the braids. Everything I do is a wave.
Y'all heard what he said. For the sack chasers, I'm Ray Charles. For the sack chasers, I'm Ray Charles. I'm tired. I am so tired of black people jumping on black hatred bandwagons. How y'all gonna hate yourselves? Don't nobody else hate themselves at the degree or the level that we do. And you can miss me with Willie Lynch. You can miss me with slavery. You can miss me with all of that because we are well aware of what these people are doing. We are well aware of how they've been treating us, how they think about us, and the things that they say about us. When they talk about things in their churches, they're talking about us. Why are they always talking about us as if we're a problem? We're not a problem. They're managing us. And they're convincing us to manage ourselves for them. As I said earlier in the show, they took the chains off, but we didn't take them off of our minds. As a collective, as a people, as a worldwide culture that has influenced every nook and cranny of this God-given earth that we live on, there is no reason why we should be struggling as a group the way that we do, especially with self-love. But it's because we have false prophets. We have liars. We have grifters. We have people that are just trying to take our money and tell us that they're not as good as everybody else. And we need to be more like them. No, we need to be more like us and remember who we are. How can we remember who we are if we're always putting each other down? How can we remember who we are if we're always putting ourselves down? How can we remember who we are if we don't even trust our own men and our own women? How can our men hating our women and our women hating our men raise children who love themselves? Are we cooking yet? Are we cooking yet, chat? Are we? Because if we are, y'all got to let me know. Y'all got to let me know.
Enough about me. Let's talk about me. What do you think of me?
Ain't nothing wrong with loving yourself. Ain't nothing wrong with loving the person next to you and giving them props and giving them ups. But when I hear a word like black fatigue, it makes me wonder, do you even know what the words mean? Well, black, talking about all the people who originate from the continent of Africa, dark-skinned, melanated people, brown people in general, and then fatigue, to the process of being worn down or being tired or having been worn down Okay, I don't need the source for this one. We get this off the dome today. All right, let's talk about it for a bit. There are people who are profiting off of you not liking you, and they tell you that you don't have any money and they have all the money. You need to think like them, but you can't like yourself in the process. That's the reason why I feel the way that I feel about these people. That's the reason why, even though I don't care about the beefs, I do care about this. You're misleading black people. You're sending black people down a rabbit hole that they will never recover from. It'll take 30 years to recover from what you've done if people like me don't step in. So I'm stepping in. Let's talk about it, y'all.
I'm gonna hear this phrase called black fatigue. And I first heard that, I said, black fatigue, what is that? Black fatigue. So these is some type of outfit people are wearing. What's going on, you know? And then I dug a little bit further and I found something else that was brilliant.
Tired of you blaming all of your failures and the things that you weren't able to accomplish on white people.
I saw this on TikTok.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
The woman who called a 5-year-old a racial slur. My first impression after watching the video, a little bit of white trash. I have to be honest, the kid was 5. I have worked with 5-year-olds for the last 15 years. Absolutely everything they do is out of pocket. They're like little unhinged drunk people. Nothing they do makes sense. A 5-year-old is capable of rifling through somebody's bag and taking things that don't belong to them. Ask any kindergarten teacher. But I realize why so many people are wanting to defend this, because black fatigue is real. I think society as a whole is there. We are just so unbelievably fed up with the ghetto ratchet behavior, entitlement, the victimhood, that they want to praise this woman.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
She said society. Society is fed up. Would you mean the whites? That's when you know this is your country. It's like, when my society, the society is fed up.
What she did is not praiseworthy. But also on the same hand, please remember that every day that us white people get on this app, we get called racial slurs. Every single day.
You do? We get called racial slurs? Who called you racial slurs? A racial slur? I didn't even know white people had a racial slur.
I didn't know either. Did y'all?
I'm sure Anthony will find it. Anton, that's it. I'm sure Anton will uncover it. He would have done countless videos about how you guys are victims if there really was a racial slur. You know what I mean?
My friend, you have found the saltine.
Oh, come on, Johnson. Even that was a term that defined the power of white people on the plantation. I mean, is that what you're talking about? This white lady is saying that white people are a victim on TikTok. Hey, man, if 70% of black people own houses like white people do, if 70% of black people own houses like white people do, I don't think I'd be frowned up about anything.
I wouldn't be frowned up either if 70% of us own houses. 70% of their community owns homes, not 70% of ours. Think there's a reason for that? Are we all just lazy, good for nothings, not wanting to work hard at all? When there are so many hardworking black people that I know, including my great-grandfather who worked for Chicago Steel and helped build the city? Okay. Tim Black's cooking. Come on, Tim Black. Keep cooking.
If black people own 10 times the wealth of white people, you can call us whatever you want. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, how could you be upset about some things that are said about a group, that you specifically on an app that you're choosing to go on? And when she's saying it, folks, look at her face. She's smiling when she says it. See, I got to question how sincere your frustration is.
Yes.
Your so-called discrimination, your plight that you're subjected to. I got to wonder how severe it is if even when you're telling it, it seems like you're sharing a story about an episode of Hacks or something. I mean, it just seemed like you don't really give a shit.
So if you don't want to be called a racial slur, you also have to stop calling people racial slurs. You can't talk out of both sides of your mouth.
Is that Botox out the test? Hold on a second. I'm still trying to figure out what the racial slur is for white people. Not like white boy. That's not going to do it, right? White boy Rick is what the black people call Rick because he was the white boy. It was Rick. And we call black people black Tim and black Rob. And like it's not a slur. That's what you mean? I'm trying to figure out. Honestly, guys, I'm trying to understand what you're talking about. And I want to know why Anton's got a smirk on his face. And why is he boosting it?
Why?
Why am I boosting it? I'm boosting it to rebuttal me. Is he going to talk later? But what I'm saying, I don't want to wait till the end because there's so much misinformation in this video. It's pathetic, man. I don't understand what racial slur that white people are being subjected to that has her so distraught.
But for the love of God, please leave the children out of it. Adults are stupid. They're going to do stupid things. You're a different level of stupid when you bring kids into it. Thanks for coming to my
Congress, so basically what this woman is saying is two things could be true at the same time. I said this the other day when this whole situation first broke out, and then we had the panel on Monday night where I basically said that white people are starting to get fed up, and that is the whole premise behind Black fatigue.
Let me get this right.
So you talk for white people now. What happened to helping all the Black people? What happened to bringing our minds out of a slave mindset? What happened to bringing our minds out of a broke mindset? What happened to that? You care about what these white people think way more than you care about what we think, right? That's what you're telling me. You're telling me that if I tell you that there's a problem in my community, you're going to tell me to go talk to a white guy. I got something for you. That's what I got for you. Let's keep going.
So you're here to tell us about the whites. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. So let me get this right.
Oh, yeah.
You are telling Black people that white people get tired of Black people. Are they tired of you?
Yes.
I'm just asking, Anton, because you Black, I think.
Nah, you don't get that no more.
Your
I remember asking you a goddamn
to come tell
thing.
Black people that white people are tired of them or they tired of us. I just want to be clear here, because this is one of my pet peeves, man. Whenever I got these conservative Black folks, and I'm not, people say, Tim, you're kind of conservative. Man, I'm nothing. I'm just Tim Black. I call it like I see it. I don't choose a side. You got the wrong guy. I got some policies I rock with. That's it.
You better learn how to lie like me. I'm going to find me a white man and lie to him right now.
But this guy's a trumper. He said so. He's gone to the mat. He's been on the Laura Ingraham angle. I think that's what he's trying to do is get back on there. But let me get this right. See, I have a problem with Black people who identify Black people as they, them. But then when things, when they, whenever they want to, try to get a fan base, they want to be Black again.
Yeah. Here's the method. I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. This is how it's done, right? So when I come out, I'm gonna get my channel together. Hold on. Let me go ahead and put some gold on real quick. Put some gold on. Shine real quick. Y'all see I'm flexing with my watch. That's how it's done, right? Yeah, come out. Yeah, y'all. I'm smooth. I'm cool. I got all the girls. I got all the money. I drive a Rolls Royce. I drive, yeah. And then I live in the hills though. But you know what? I'm from the hood. I'm from the streets. Yeah. And look at all the Jordans on my wall. Ain't no dirt on them things. Nothing at all. I can afford it. Yeah, I can afford it. I got two pools. I got two pools outside. And I don't even know how to swim, and I got two pools. And I take a helicopter for lunch. I take a helicopter down the street. That's what I do. So they come on. I got to protect my eyes, y'all. I can only do it for so long. I got to protect my eyes. They come on here and they tell you things to try to identify with you, to speak to your Negro dumb and say, yeah, look at all this designer that I got. 2 Cosby sweaters. I got 2 Cosby sweaters on right now. I got the Rollie on. I'm driving the Rollie. Oh yeah. I got the presidential jet that I get on. We only fly private. Y'all want to be like me, don't you? Look at all the girls that I got around me. You want to be just like me. They do that so you guys will give them money, super chat them, send money to their cash apps and join their communities and support them in what they're doing. And then they watch other content creators and steal things that are good from them. And then they decide that one day they get invited to, I don't know, Fox News. And they want to go on there and they want to become a part of that community and break into it. And I want to run for Congress. The whole time they're selling you out. Nobody knows those people. They have 0 accomplishments. Those are the grifters. And then they came up with the term like Black fatigue, to be tired of Black people. What? You are a Black person, right? You are a melanated person, right? How can you be tired of your own people? Not just tired, fatigued. The inability to recover after being tired. Fatigued. Y'all play video games, I'm sure, where the health bar goes down. That's a fatigue bar. And then it stops at a certain point. The longer the fight goes on, you can recover this much, and you can't, but you can never get back to 100. That's the fatigue bar. His fatigue bar is so low that he wants to sell all of you out. And if someone with a proposition came to him with money to do so, he's already told you, and others just like him have told you that they will sell you. They have told you that they will sell you out because it's about the money. As long as they have it, they don't care about you, which means they don't care about the community. I had one tell me in my face that these types of people have no obligation to build their communities, that these people have no obligation to do things for underprivileged people, that these people have zero obligation to do anything for you other than to take your donations and put them in their pockets to build their communities outside of you. So why do you support them? Why do you go to their channels and watch their shows so they can get ad revenue and watch time? Starve them out. End them. They don't want smoke. They don't want smoke. They can't fight. All they can do is sit behind their screen and argue and threaten legal action for you saying anything bad about them. They don't have no problem doxing you. They don't have no problem trying to find your mom and what happened to your mom. And then they want to get on panels with discussions and act like they're having a healthy debate, and all they're doing is yelling at each other. That's not content creation. That's grifting. I have Black grifter fatigue. I ain't worried about what everybody else is doing. They're not a part of my community. But Black people masquerading as real Black folks, and some people have called them FBAs, you masquerading as one of us. You leading the people down the dark path. At least, like you said F Malcolm X, the other one said F Martin Luther King, and at least the two of them brothers was trying to do something for us. Even if they were wrong in one way or the other, we're not here to discuss where they were wrong at. May they rest in power. They were trying to do something for us. They lost their lives because of it in one way or the other. It don't matter. It's really starting to get on my nerves. It really is. How this bean-head, fat, ugly bastard and his constituents can sit up here day in and day out and call all of y'all broke. Call all of y'all dumb. All of y'all stupid, underinformed. Y'all don't know nothing. Y'all ain't never lived like this before. And y'all keep watching. When's the last time they tried to educate you about something real, or did they tell you that women can't think for themselves? This, like, if you like women, the first thing that you're going to try to do is empower them, right? You're going to tell them, hey, sweetie, I'm not about to be one of these trad husbands. You need to have some skin in the game. Let's get you some skills, baby. Let's make something happen for you. What you trying to do? You want a little two or 3 day a week job? You can do that. Oh, you having my kids? We're married. We got an empire we got to build. It's cool. Let daddy pick up the slack. But no. Everybody's a 304. Everybody's to be used. All the Black dudes are dumb. He's so much better than everybody else, and all of his people are too. We're all stupid. We're all broke, and we can't do nothing for ourselves, right? Who are you? Imagine how many times you're going to ask people, who are you, and then spend the next 2 days of your life doxing us. But you won't never say nothing to nobody's face. Never. I'm gonna put paperwork on you. I'm gonna tie you up legally. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. B Brand TV says it starts with the families and is supposed to be reinforced by the communities. Is how it was done in the past. The government has tricked our women out of wanting families. Therefore, it's no communities to reinforce the families. There isn't. There isn't. We need communities to educate the youth. The blacks don't have community anymore. It's all mixed neighborhoods, and youth are being misguided in the process by the community and the schools. And now, with the internet and social media platforms, the world as a whole takes part in the miseducation of our young people. Mind empowerment. What's up, man? How you doing? He said BGF is real. Yes, black grifter fatigue is real. And I am so glad for Tim Black talking about this today. We're going to finish up a little bit with Tim Black, and then we're going to continue on our soliloquy.
I don't get it. I don't get the they, them. I thought you was against the pronouns, bruh. Until you start talking about black people that got less money than you, then it's they, them, which I don't rock with. Let's keep going.
Is that nobody wants you to continue to play victim for the rest of your life. They tired of being held accountable for things that their ancestors.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. They're tired of being held accountable. How are white people being held accountable? Dude, there ain't no restitution. What are you talking?
It is 2026. We had segregation and Jim Crow laws straight through the 60s into the 70s. Those people are still alive. Shoot, the president's in his 80s. He was there. They were all there. All these, and there's no ancestors of ancestors of ancestors. We are one generation removed. The Gen Xers were there living through segregation. The Gen Xers were there living through Jim Crow. They really didn't go to school together. You don't believe me? Look up Ruby Bridges. She's still alive. She's not a historical figure. She's alive right now. She was the first black girl to be integrated into public schools. Ruby Bridges. I'll say the name again. Ruby Bridges, who is still alive, was the first black little girl to be integrated into the public school system in America, to desegregate it. This isn't the ancestors of ancestors. These are your grandparents we're talking about. They're still alive. They're still trying to oppress us. And we have these ugly, fat loser dweebs like this man and his people that keep on telling us that we're the problem. No, we're not the problem. You're the problem. And I'm not going to stop until I get people like you out of the spaces, until people start to see you for what you really are. I can't do my show each and every single day and try to empower all of these people who watch, black, white, Latino, Asian, and everything in between, if people like you keep going back and getting on your knees and performing performative acts for the people who want us to have the problems. You've never called anyone a Nazi. Never. You won't say anything bad about what they've done. They will literally salute in your face, and you will sit there and kiss the ring. Just so you can have a little bit of this to rub between, put two nickels together and rub it together. Hopefully you can start a fire and keep yourself warm. That's who he is. That's who the other people are that are just like him. And there's so many of them. It's become a thing. It isn't black fatigue. It's black grifter fatigue. And the rest of us are simply tired of it.
About. Yeah, what are you talking about? They're tired of being held accountable. Oh, you mean somebody talking shit on an app that anybody could do? You mean like if I shot a video right now and I said, bad white people, do you mean like that? Dude, you're so goofy. Come on, man. Look, man. I don't mean to harm Anton Daniels and friends of Anton Daniels, and I really do not.
I do.
I relish this, but just because you got on glasses don't make.
I do.
You smart. Just because you got on glasses don't make you smart. And just because you do a little word salad and say a lot of words and really not saying anything. Sir, people on TikTok complaining about American system of systemic racism that has occurred in this country is not holding white people accountable. The only way to hold white people accountable, first of all, would not be able to hold white people accountable, you hold the U.S. government accountable. Like that's...
Thank you.
Where we need to be at. And there has been no accountability by the U.S. government to rectify a couple hundred years of slavery, 100 years of Jim Crow and Jane Crow and mass incarceration and redlining and all the other things that were allowed legally under this U.S. government. That's who needs to be held accountable. People complaining on an app about America, that ain't holding nobody accountable. Why would you even say something goofy like that? It's impossible. These people have no power. How can powerless people hold powerful people, more people that ain't holding nobody accountable? Why would you even say something goofy like that? It's impossible. These people have no power. How can powerless people hold powerful people, more people that are more powerful, that outnumber them, 4 to 1. For every black person, there's like 4 or 5 white people. They outnumber us with wealth, land, ownership, power, position, the presidency, the government, like everything. The service, the armed services, the police system, every system in America is run by white people. And you said they're tired of being held accountable. I mean, I don't mean no harm, man. And I know I got people that watch me from all types of walks of life. Well, I thought y'all told me this guy knew what he was talking about. This guy's just cooning for I'm sorry. Anton Daniels, the sound of me, I'm getting the impression that you are either trolling because you had Charleston White on your show and you said, well, that's where the money is. Because you can't be this dumb. You got to know Charleston White. Accountable is something that someone with power is able to do. Accountability is what court systems do. Accountability is what the United Nations would have to do to the United States. That's what accountability is. And people saying things that you don't want to hear that you could just go delete or block is not equivalent to holding anybody accountable. It's disgusting and insulting, man, that you wouldn't even float it.
Exactly. I have been talking about this for quite some time. Accountability does not hold anything if you don't have power to enforce it. You can't hold anybody accountable if you have no power to enforce that. There is no or else to enforce. There's no or else to fear. That is why I make sure that I keep myself physically ready just in case I have to enforce an or else. Because don't nobody really want that smoke. People want to talk crazy. People want to say whatever they want to do. But then as soon as they see one of you walk into the room with that real stuff, they case up, they fold, they pop. Get out of there quick. They're not going to be the type of people that are going to be able to move forward in society if other people start standing 10 toes down and say, okay, fine, let's get in the ring. You don't want to get beat up. You don't want to get beat up. You just want to talk crap. That's all you want to do. That's all you want to do. So for everybody, for me especially.
Shut your stupid ass up. Say that, folks.
I'm not going to sit up here and let that man speak again. Not on this platform. Not right now. He don't want to talk to nobody from over here. He don't want to talk to none of us. Hey, chat, does he want to talk to us? Does he want to hear what we have to say? Does he care? Or is he going to sit there and throw shots at us? Or is he going to sit there and continue to put people in a negative light and paint them that way so people won't mess with them? Well, I'm sorry. There's nothing that you could do. This train can't be stopped. This train can't be stopped at all. There is no pass go. There's none of that. Once the wheels got rolling on this thing, it wasn't going to be able to be stopped. It's only a matter of time. It's inevitable. Your time is running out. People who support you, your time is running out. No one's going to keep listening to you. We are going to start building. There's no way that we've been held down for this long that it isn't our time now. It is our time now. It is our time to continue to move forward. It is our time to continue to build and to continue to bring people up because they gave people like me a platform, and I'm your worst nightmare. I'm somebody that doesn't fit any mold that you wanted to craft him in. I'm somebody that doesn't have to change his personality to be himself or to fit in or to get people to listen to him. I'm not going to change my personality to get people to listen to me because I was made this way and I'm staying this way. And you can't say the same thing. The difference is authenticity. You're not authentic. Your people aren't authentic. You only care about one thing, and that's money. And as you can see, that money thing, yeah, that money doesn't mean as much as it used to. It doesn't mean as much as it did last week, does it? We have rising gas prices, rising costs of groceries, rising interest rates in the housing market, rents going up. The cars are harder to buy. People can't even sell their used cars anymore for anything of value. Credit limits are ridiculous. Hey. Your time's running out, bro. Your money doesn't mean as much. But you know what means more than everything? My character. You don't have any. You want to be liked still. You didn't have any friends in high school, did you? You didn't have any girlfriends in high school, did you? Nobody liked you. You didn't win homecoming, nothing. You didn't make it to court. You didn't make it to king. You didn't make it to prince. You weren't the star of the football team, basketball team, baseball team. You probably couldn't even play soccer or lacrosse. You probably weren't even on the badminton team. Definitely wasn't on the debate team because you suck at that. But you just riding the wave. I'm not riding the wave. I'm tired of y'all watching him. I'm tired of having to see that beanhead pop up on my algorithms day in and day out when there is real knowledge out there. There are real people with real issues and real problems. And I am never, ever going to sit down at this chair and allow for them not to have a voice. So I will be the voice of the voiceless. We are smart. We are funny. We are intricate. We are intelligent. And we don't have to be like anybody else to be accepted. You have a home here on the TezDown. I invite all of you to bring yourselves here and to have a real community of people that actually care about real things, real manhood, real femininity, real parenting, and real finances and real politics. We want the world to be a better place. And if that means that you guys have to leave it, then so be it. I'm not buying subs. I'm not buying views. I'm not paying for features. I'm not paying for people to come here and talk to me. I'm not asking to talk to anybody. I'm not trying to have any interviews. I'm not trying to do any of that. I have shows. I got 4 shows to do. I have the Ben podcast. I have the TezDown. I have the Human Experience with the Classic Codes. And I have the DDOG podcast, where we do all of our wrestling and our sports. And then I am on tour with the rest of the RSC. I do not have time to continually go back and forth with you losers. I don't have time for that. You were losers in school and you're losers now. Just because you got a little bit of AdSense revenue that of other losers watching you and supporting you does not mean that you can tell me who I am or who my people are. The funniest thing about this is I haven't said any of your names. So if you feel hurt by this and if you feel affected by this, shucks. I'm not hard to find. I'm not. Want to talk about it? We can. It's just not an invitation. You want me, you find me. As you can see, it's scrolling down at the bottom. You can reach me in these ways. My email is there. You can reach me by sending me some money. That'd be great. My Cash App is there. My social media is there. Speaking of money, we have a super chat from Kira for me cooking. I'm going to play Sugar Joyco's song. Y'all in the chat, y'all are doing work right now in the chat. That's what I'm talking about. We have real solutions to the community. Let's get in action. We call all creators, real creators that care about this community, bring them all together the right way, the real way. No more investing, no more politics, to do this ourselves. We don't need them. We don't need them anymore. Time to play. New era and new age. Thank you, Sugar Joyco. If you guys missed my episode yesterday, I had Sugar Joyco on the show, and she had a great time with the wonderful Dr. Tamara Lee Terry. Holds a near and dear place into my heart. I appreciated them so much. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I'm going to say it before I get up off of here today. I need to let you guys understand these guys only care about one thing.
I was running game on you. Wanted to get the money.
That's all they wanted. That's all they wanted. And I have one thing to say to them.
Stop it. Get some help.
You know, this is gonna be One of those times, those game-changing times where the dichotomy flips and we're on top. We're going to be on top. So to all of you fake content creators.
Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
And stop talking to my people any type of way. We are not stupid. We are not dumb. And we for damn sure ain't broke. And we've proved it because 99% of our money bolsters this economy up and down the street.
Why the fuck you lying?
Lying to everybody right now. Stop lying to everybody right now. And if you want, you're going to have to deal with me and people just like me. Only name that I'm going to say here is if you got a problem, take it up with Aiden Ross. We can make it happen. I have no problem training, giving you 6 months. I'll give you 6 months to get ready if you want to, so I can knock your goofy ass on your black ass. I'm not playing this game with y'all anymore. Y'all want to go over and do that, mislead my people? I'm taking it personally.
It's a man, baby.
Ain't nobody woofing at you either.
Shadow, relax, Shadow. Shadow.
I'm really starting to get tired of it. You guys are not smart. You guys are not intelligent. There's nothing that you're saying or doing that's going to change anything for us. All you're doing is putting us down, and you look ridiculous doing it.
Why is everyone so fucking stupid? Why aren't more people intelligent like me?
Black grifter fatigue. Black grifter fatigue is what it's called. I am so freaking tired of y'all. Each and every single day, all you do is create these panels and yell at each other, and nobody can get a single word out. No, there's no encouragement. There's no edification. There's no knowledge. There's none of that. And I'm tired of it. I am so tired of it. And we are done. I am telling you right now, we are done. We are done. Contact me or shut the hell up. Sending subliminal shots. This ain't subliminal. This is letting you know exactly what it is. 16 ounces. Take it or leave it. My guess is that you're going to leave it because I've seen what happens when someone steps up to you. Doesn't matter how big my channel is. How big is your manhood? Obviously, mine's a lot bigger than yours.
Shit, Negro, that's all you had to say.
This is the TezDown. I am Tez. We're coming.
I'm the Tez. I'm the Tez.
Welcome to the TezDown. Welcome.
I'm the Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the TezDown. Party time.